Good morning. I'm the Reverend Joe Bull. I'll be your host today. I want to welcome anyone here in the audience for the first time today. You all look like veterans to me at the PLC. Good. And I think the same on Zoom. All veterans?
Yep.
Good. Excellent. Well, this is the year 2026. As you all know, the theme is awakening. And the topic for March is intentions. That's right, we're still in March. It's been
a long month.
Yeah, it's a long month. It's been March all month long. I was like, wow, we're just going to stay here in March, I guess. So yeah. I was thinking about Reverend Angelo Zello this morning. He is our founder, of course, of the PLC and also the founder of the Emerson Institute. And I was thinking about him, and I looked up his quote, one of many from him. I love to quote him. Let's keep it simple, he says. The infinite potential and possibility within you is superior to any situation or circumstance. And that is so true. So true. That's been one of his mantras for years. I miss him being here. He's living in Washington now. He's doing well. But I miss him being at the office here in Oakers, because every time I come to Oakers, I stop and bug him. As busy as he was, he'd take time to just sit and talk with me. And anyone who enters his door, he's just a fabulous person. So God bless him. I miss him. I'd like to open up with Patti, who's our musician today, and have her play a little something for us as we go into meditation this morning. I'll have her play, and we'll go into a silent meditation, and I'll bring us all back. Patti.
Okay. This is the prayer of St. Francis. Lord, make me an instrument of your peace. Where there is hatred, let me sow love. Where there is injury, pardon. Where there is doubt, faith. Where there is despair, hope. Where there is darkness, light. Where there is sadness, joy. O divine Master, grant that I may not so much seek to be consoled as to console, to be understood as to understand, to be loved as to love. For it is in giving that we receive. And it is in pardoning that we are pardoned. And it is in dying that we are born to eternal life.
I believe God's intentions are to remind us all that we are truly connected with God's Spirit unconditionally. God's love for us is unconditional. We are all children of God and loved 24/7 and reminded of God's good that is always there for us. Always. God is a magnificent presence wherever we go. God is. And we are. We're so blessed to know this. We're so blessed to be together this morning at the PLC. Thank you, God's Spirit, for this and so much more. And so it is. Thank you, Patti. Welcome back. We have a spiritual thought for you this morning. I'd like to bring up John LaLonde for that. Just give him some love, huh?
Good morning, Joe. Well, good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Nice to see you right there, Jackie. I'm hoping that the Zoom sound is actually improved by the location change.
So far, so good.
Well, it is the last Sunday in March. The themes are still intentions, and the spiritual practice is affirmations. And I am gonna. I also spoke on March 1st, so this is a month where you get me twice. So what I thought I would do is review some of what I said on March 1st. It was almost a month ago, so we should refresh. And add some of the things that we heard about through the course of the month, and then spend some time on affirmations towards the end there. So what I talked about at the beginning of the month and reviewing today is intention, not intentions, but it was corrected when I was kind of using them interchangeably, it would appear. And I really want to talk about intention. And the intention is trying to get at the singular thing, the thing that is at the core. What is it that I want? What is it that I resonate with? What is it that gives my life meaning? What is my North Star? What is guiding me? What it is that I want to bring into my life in an even cleaner, bigger, clearer, always present sort of way. So that's what I was trying to get to at the beginning of the month. And so it is intention, singular, not plural. The plural intentions is getting at a list of things. And we heard about a list like resolutions, where there may be heartfelt and meaningful, until the 5th of January when they start to ring a little hollow. And so I'm not talking about that. I am talking about what is really at our center. So something else we heard about this month was that the road to hell is paved with good intentions. We heard that from a couple. And that's not what I'm talking about. And but I did think that I am glad it's paved. At least it's not going to be a bumpy road. So I'm really talking about an honest, kind of depthful, heartfelt intention, which is essentially handing God a blueprint. I really love that phrase that I read somewhere, that it is really aligning myself with Spirit and co-creating. It is giving that design for the co-creation. It's aligning with that truth and our spiritual core. So what are we after? what is our innermost intention? Those are the things. I concluded my talk on the first with another saying I was really proud of, and that was that I wanted to during this course of this month, I wanted to try to get to what is the phrase, what is the language, what is the most meaningful thing in my core, and I was very proud of recalling it to treat it as a writing prompt from the soul. That was my big goal for myself, and also a veiled challenge to everybody. So for that March 1st talk, I already read, I'd kind of done that kind of research, informational kind of spiritual thought. This time I didn't want to read. I just wanted to really kind of probe for what is it? I mean, it's in there. I know this. There's something that guides me. There's some language that I can try to discover. So I wanted this to come from my thoughts, from my experience, and not so much what I could read that I really liked. Made me think about while I was sitting there, and I like to give this practice of writing a spiritual thought. It's part of my spiritual practice. I really like to meditate, think about it. I'm thinking about it when I see it on the list, when it comes out in, whenever in December, I guess. But I really wanted to hone in on it. I really wanted to get quiet. I wanted to meditate. I wanted to think about it. And I thought, I really like it when I have a spiritual moment, when something really just comes to me. And it made me think of another time when driving or hiking into a beautiful scenic area, I have, and I say to those I'm with, nature moment, and which means I'm going to stop, take it in, and probably take a picture. But it's a nature moment. It's a time where I'm actually really impressed with something that I'm seeing there. And so, I want spiritual moments where, there's some sort of intuition or awe or some sort of woo-woo experience that, can't come from a number of places. It can be as simple seeming as a coincidence, or it can be deja vu, something just kind of different than the routine, kind of grocery list way of living. So it always feels like there's some sort of meaning behind it. There's something to attend to in a deeper sort of way. So when I sat down to work on this, I thought about this writing prompt from the soul, and I was looking for that sentence, and I recalled an experience that I have mentioned here in a spiritual thought before, where I was at a meditation retreat, and towards the end of it, on the last morning of it, we had a guided meditation about early childhood memories. And then we were left to sit in silence for a very long time. And during that time, I had an experience where I felt like I had contact with my mother, who had died about a year prior. She appeared to me and said to me one sentence, and she just said, it's all about love, is what she said. It's all about love. And it was just a wonderful, I plug into that often when I hear Reverend Judy do the 4 directions and she gets to the north and talks about the ancestors. I feel that resonate. So during that kind of vision, a deceased sister, an uncle, and a grandfather also appeared. They just waved. They didn't say anything. But I just thought I'd add that because it was really a rich, sort of dreamlike, but vivid. But it was clear. It was there. It was definitely happening, and it was the most woo-woo thing that has ever happened to me that I am consciously aware of. So I thought, well, that's, there's something. As I often do, and I've mentioned this before, I often, even though I've had this meditation and I'm trying to get, kind of deep and heavy about it, I also multitasking. And so I was trying to get onto a free Kindle book offer for a New Thought daily guide that had just been published. And it didn't happen when I first tried it the day before. I finally got it. And went to March 23rd, the day that I was working on this, read what was in that daily thing, and it included and expounded on the statement, "It's all about God." I mean, it's all about love. I'm sorry. It's all, I stepped on that. It's all about love. It is the same thing. And that is the Emerson thing that, love is God. God is love. I mean, and so there was that simple little thing there. So when I read that, I thought, wow, a compounding woo-woo experience. There's the spiritual thought. And, I'd asked for a writing prompt for the soul, and the soul came through and answered it for me. I was really touched by that. So it's a powerful intention. It's all about love. It's a powerful intention. I want that awareness always. I'm aware of it, here and there, but I want to live that way. I want that to be definitional of my being. I want it to be simple and effortless and just who I am. It also occurred to me that is a powerful affirmation that as I think and affirm, which means make firm in my mind that it is all about love, it's reminding myself that that's what it is at my core. That is who I am. And it's an affirmation that can come up in all sorts of things. It's really easy in a really loving situation to think it's all about love, but even in the more difficult times, watching media, all the difficult times. I'm not going to go through the list, but to just recall that, it gets me in the right place to deal with whatever is coming up. Conflicts with people, recalling that. It's kind of like the Namaste greeting, where it just reminds me what's really important here, and so that's how I want to live with it. So these affirmations, just to simplify, they're really a tool. They're really a tool available for us. They're a simple repetition, out loud, some people say. Quietly is how I kind of roll with it. But it's also a spiritual practice, and it's listed this month as a spiritual practice. So it is a spiritual practice to do an affirmation of this core intention. So that, I think, helps us sync our lives with what is truly, truly at our core and what's important to us. So I thought I would just end by reading the last two lines of this March 23rd entry in this daily guide that I just got. The book is Daily Spark. It's Reverend Bill Marchione, and I think he is now the chair of the Emerson, or Anton. Or is it Emerson? Yeah, he's the chair of Emerson. So what the saying is, well, that's the truth. It's all about love. So sing yourself a little song today and be reminded in each moment that you are a bright light of love. And so it is.
Beautiful, John. Thank you. Yes, God and love, all the same thing. All the same thing, all the time. I just bought that book too. It's coming my way. Should be here tomorrow, I think. Look forward to that. Patti, you have a song for us.
I do. And this is, I heard you were going to be leading us today, and you liked it last time I did it, so I'm going to do it again.
Okay.
It's actually a Willie Nelson song. Imagine what you want and get out of the way. Remember, energy follows thought. So Careful what you say. Be careful what you ask for. Make sure it's really what you want, because your mind is made for thinking, and energy follows thought. Your mind is in control even when you do not know. And if you let it idle, ain't no telling where it'll go. No, no, no. Whenever you are sleeping and your dreams take you away, go on with your dreaming and listen to what they say. And if you hear spirits talking, their wisdom can't be bought. Apply it to your thinking, and energy follows thought. Whenever you are sleeping and your dreams take you away, just go on with your dreaming. Listen to what they say. If you hear spirits talking, their wisdom can't be bought. Just apply it to your thinking. Energy follows thought. Mind is in control even when you do not know. And if you let it idle, ain't no telling where it'll go. Imagine what you want. Get out of the way. Remember, energy follows thought. Remember what they say.
Thank you, Patti. Now it's time for our speaker. I'm going to bring up Reverend Robin Wolford. Come on.
Look, I'm shorter than the average bear.
Pretty much most of us are.
I think so, right? I think, can you guys hear me okay?
Yes.
Am I speaking properly into the mic?
Yes.
Cool. So I do this for Joe so that he knows that I'm not speaking forever up here. I like him to know that I am on track and ready to fly. So, I was kind of excited today about being able to do this talk today, it being Palm Sunday. So, hello and good morning, and I'm Reverend Robin, and I am so grateful to be here today for Palm Sunday. It is one of those days that I'm going to talk about intentions and affirmation and how this relates to Holy Week. As this week is considered Holy Week, Palm Sunday starts that. And so there's a few things we'll go through. And so some people have the intention of celebrating Lent. And Lent, for those of you that don't know, it's a thought or practice of approximately 40 days, depending on which scenario you follow, of trying to live without something like a thought, a food, usually a fasting of a particular food or drink is how we do it in modern times right now. And so this echoes the 40 days that Jesus spent fasting in the desert and enduring temptation according to the Gospels before the beginning of his ministry. And so this duration of Lent for 40 days is also interesting how 40 comes into being in the Bible, as it's the 40 days as well as Moses fasted for 40 days before he got the 10 Commandments. Elijah also was fasting for 40 days. And also and this is where Moses, like when he went in for the 40 days, was fasting without eating or drinking water before receiving those 10 Commandments. And as you go through this, the three of them show this 40 days mark. Also, just for a side note, the number 40 has other biblical references that God sent 40 days and 40 nights of rain for the great flood with the story of Noah. And also, the Hebrew people wandered the desert for 40 years before getting back to their promised land. And so it's an interesting thing when you start coming up with numbers, and I was an accountant by trade forever, so numbers are my thing. So as the story of Lent comes into being, it was the year 325, according to the research I did. The Council of Nicaea is what I'm going to call it. The discussion of Lent started. And it was more about, Lent was about giving up for people that wanted to be baptized at the time. And so they would go for 40 days without food. And I think that there's probably some rules in there that weren't in the research I did. But before they got baptized, and it would help to make them cleanse and cleanse for all the old things. So, flash forward to today. The new thought meaning of 40 days of Lent is to release that which no longer serves you. Most individuals I know give up chocolate. It's not on my list. Okay? I usually pick a negative word for 40 days that I try to give up. I have to tell you, this time around I failed by day 2. So, but I've been aware of it and constantly attempting to do that. But I have found it's actually easier for the 40 days to add something to my spiritual practice. As I add something new, I have to release something that maybe, to make room for that new, the idea of being, it will be something that no longer serves me. This is in helping be more connected to the divine, that God, that source that helps me grow spiritually. There are quite a few books out there that can give you 40 days of healing readings. I'm part of a meditation group, and the lady that leads it on Tuesday, she has a Joe Goldsmith book that she just read the last few weeks. Very interesting and short and to the point. And so I want to quote part of from Joe Goldsmith. I don't know if any of you are aware of him or not, but he has the book called The Foundation of Mysticism. And he tends to be what we call more of an absolute new thought thinker. So he's sometimes you have to read him a few times to kind of like, oh, yeah. So the quote I'm reading is, "So, I do know this. Whatever you release, you are released from. What you cling to is that which binds you. You are your own liberator." And I think that's a really good, almost a quote to do almost every day when we were doing Lent. So now we have this intense Holy Week where we can really dive into it and get that going. So this great way to think of Lent in releasing what no longer serves you. There are so many ideas and stories and philosophy in this season of Lent that you should do your own research and see what part resonates with you. There's so much out there once you started digging into it. And so this Palm Sunday, in the tradition that I'm going to explore here, is the starting point for that last week of Lent. Palm Sunday is the day that celebrates Jesus entering into the city of Jerusalem. And there is a feast and celebration of the King of Israel coming in triumphantly. But the way Jesus came in, he actually appeared to come in with peace on a young donkey, not walking like he had done his whole life. He walked everywhere until Palm Sunday. And so then, and there is a story, a significant item of the donkey, and that it was a certain kind of donkey from somewhere. And very interesting. But, and you guys know me, we're going to do an animal story, because that's what we do. The significant item of the donkey is that a donkey represents peace versus a horse, which represents war. Thus, Jesus is referred to as the Prince of Peace as Jesus rides into Jerusalem. It is suggested that riding in on a donkey and the significance of being peaceful, steadfast, humble, patient, yet stubborn and hardworking, reliable, unassumingly strong, and gentle. That brings in these qualities that we would be bringing into our life, especially as we're moving forward to grow our spiritual path. So, and that's those ideas, and part of that quote was from a website called mytheos.org, and I can give you guys the website later if you'd like. And the quote from them is, "Carry your burden with grace, for even in the heaviest load, there is a lesson to be learned. Find strength in humility." Also, from this website reading, the donkey is often misconstrued as merely stubborn, but may actually symbolize a profound steadfastness in the face of adversity. In modern society, where the pursuit of the glamorous often overshadows the value of consistent effort, the donkey reminds us of the power of humility and quiet perseverance. We kind of take that deep breath. It's a call to embrace the mundane, to find meaning in everyday struggles, and to recognize that true strength may lie in the grand gestures, but in the steady, unwavering commitment to the task of the event. So beyond this physical strength, the donkey also embodies a deep sense of patience. So as we kind of take that deep breath, as we begin this Holy Week, realizing that Lent is where we have started to release what no longer serves us, we begin to retrieve that which makes us stronger. And in the going with the donkey theme, recognizing that our strengths, finding our commitment to spiritual growth, remaining steadfast in our daily challenges, patient with ourselves, and compassionate with ourselves and others, using and listening to our intuition of what is ours to do. So, while the number 40 is sacred in many wisdom traditions, it's a symbol also of spiritual completion, of a time that it takes for a new state of consciousness to be reached. From the Holmes Institute, we look, and the Holmes Institute is a part of the Centers for Spiritual Living. As we look at the idea of the 40 days, we can use this guideline to start a new practice, adjust the practice we have, finding that activity, thought, or feeling that moves us forward. And so I say, when I look at that, I say, I do try to keep the word patience out of my practice so much, because I really don't want God or the divine to bring me any more to be patient about. So I think that it's like, that's kind of one of those words where, you don't want to ask for something like patience too much. You want to be patient, but you don't want more patience. So So in the Science of Mind philosophy with Ernest Holmes, the founder of the Science of Mind, Palm Sunday, using the idea of the soul's entry into a conscious union with the divine, that Christ consciousness coming into the kingdom of heaven within our own mind. As we study, practice with our spiritual tools, I can see walking with a donkey with patience and steadfastness, humbly being open to what is ours to do. Dr. Holmes telling us to recognize the Christ consciousness within us, that perfect kingdom of heaven that is our here in this life to be obtained now. So some of the key aspects of the spiritual meaning of on Palm Sunday is to start to sit, to contemplate, welcoming the inner divinity, interpreted as the awakening of that divine spark within every individual. In this contemplation in your mind, start to visualize that you are paving the way. Laying palms on the road represents paving one's life journey with strength, overcoming fear and moving forward with joy. As you're moving into perfection in your contemplation, this symbolizes the soul's triumph over limitation as one realizes they are heir to the riches of the kingdom of God. This journey forward, Palm Sunday, marks a beginning of the week that serves as a mental, emotional, and spiritual journey towards the realization of the resurrected life, state of wholeness, divine protection. In looking at our spiritual journey this week, Holy Week, using our intention to take that spiritual growth to the next level, what is the best spiritual tool to help us ease into that growth? There are a couple of daily practices that can be expanded and retrieved to find what resonates with our personal intention. One stated intention can be the way to find peace in our minds when faced with a challenge. If you have a spiritual practice that you consistently practice daily, when the challenge arises, it's just so much easier to let that challenge kind of play out, and all of a sudden you'll be, spiritual practice. Let's take a deep breath. Let's clear our mind. Let's breathe in peace. Breathe it in. And as you practice on every day, when those challenges happen, you will find over the course of time that it takes you less and less time to get back into that state of peace. That some challenges, and I think for those of you that have practiced so much, have practiced before, will know that how you responded to a situation yesterday took less time to get out of that negativity than, say, 5 years ago when almost the same thing happened. You can think, that lasted weeks. This has lasted a day. Like, so much improvement in that way. So, and I'm just going to read in the glossary in the Science of Mind textbook, Ernest Holmes tried to define affirmation, which is where we're going to go with this. And so this one practice for the Science of Mind magazine in 2024, the affirmation: I marvel at the perfection of the universe and everything in it, including me. I am divinely designed and always equipped for life. So as I looked at his affirmation definition, I was like, okay, that's just circles of him using the definition of affirmation with affirm. And so the girls and Barney are passing out eggs. Take one, everybody take one, and there's plenty for all. And don't open them yet. You got to open them when I finish. And so that'll be good. Just make sure everybody can get one, and there might be extras later. So you can have one. Oh, thank you. Oh, I'm going to take one. Would you like to take one? So this is a fun thing, and of course, it has a little piece of candy in it, so you know who's responsible for that. Berta! Okay, so what we're going to do is think about affirmations. Hold your little egg. Just know that this is going to be a fun thing. And so as we go with this definition of affirmation, I'm TAing a foundations class for Science of Mind, and the definition in that workbook is to affirm means to declare positively that something is true. Affirmations are effective tools to train your mind, the thoughts and feelings, to the desires you wish to experience. There is a seed, soil, plant analogy that can just bring that into being. As you think about a seed, is your thought. As you plant that seed in soil, then it will start to grow. And when that plant comes out, there's what you have, that what you were looking for, that plant. Affirmations are seeds, thought of what you desire, that you work with to have life experience you're wanting. Writing affirmations out as you find one that fits what you're looking for and feels right. Writing them out is some of the best practice you can have. It's also, with affirmations, you can put them on the refrigerator, put them in your mirror in the bathroom, something that you see constantly, and it will reinforce you. So there's 5 P's to affirmations. One is personal, I am. The second, present tense, now. Productive, experiencing. The fourth one is positive, peace. And then passionate. Your affirmation needs all 5 of these things put together. I am now experiencing peace continually in my daily life. So that is one affirmation using those. And there are many examples of affirmations, and some of them are, I am capable of achieving my goals. I love and accept myself as I am. I am grateful for the opportunities today will bring. I choose to focus on my strength. In the iFocus newsletter, and I saw that it was again in this week, which is fabulous, Nancy Moore has written out beautiful affirmations, and these are good sources. If you look at those and one resonates with you, take it, write it out, put it on your, like I said, fridge or however, wherever you want to do that. And as you work with these affirmations, it's just a good way to get started. You pick one you like, and as you practice with it, maybe there's a word in there that would resonate better than peace. Maybe it's comfort, maybe it's compassion. And affirmations can be, as long as you want. The idea, though, is to keep it pretty short so that it's kind of a mantra in your head going on. So you can keep that mantra going. I love and accept myself as I am. I choose to focus on my strengths. So you can just kind of need to make sure that it's believable. If it's something like, okay, for me, it's like, I can't lift 40 pounds. So I'd saying something like, I am now lifting 50 pounds. That's not believable. I know that I'm not at that space. But so make sure that this is a believable thing that you believe in, and it's an easy spiritual practice. One of those things that, if you're in a meeting, you could doodle these things while you're in that meeting, right? So there's always good ways to do it. And one of I think she's the most famous, I don't know about the rest of you, but Louise Hay affirmations are positive present tense statements designed to reframe thinking, cultivate self-love, and improve life circumstances. Often focusing on themes of health, prosperity, and forgiveness. Popular examples include all is well, I love and approve myself, and I trust the process of life. And sometimes I think that is my affirmation when there's a challenge. It's like, hold on, deep breath, challenge. Okay, wait a minute. I'm going to breathe in the process of life and knowing that I'm divinely supported. It's all flowing with grace and ease as it should. So as we take this inspiration to use it for our more spiritual journey in a positive manner, beginning this Holy Week, realize that Lent is where we have started to realize what no longer serves us. So we're just taking that deep breath in and just knowing that we're going to work with these affirmations. And I'm going to end in a prayer from Ernest Holmes. It might take me a minute or two to get with this, but this will be the end of the talk part. I'm going to do the prayer of the Ernest Holmes textbook that is one of my favorites. It's on page 56 to 57. It's about halfway down 56. So close your eyes if you feel so inclined. This is, to me, is almost a daily treatment for all that's going on. I don't know if anybody reads this or not here is familiar with it, but here we go. Let's take that deep breath in. And I'm going to use the personal I am. And so here we go. I am the center in the divine mind, a point of God-conscious life. Truth and action. My affairs are divinely guided and guarded into right action, into correct results. Everything I do, say, or think is stimulated by the truth. There is a power in this word that I speak because it is of the truth, and it is the truth. There is perfect and continuous right action in my life and my affairs. All belief is wrong action is dispelled and made negative. Right action alone has power, and right action is power and power of God, the living Spirit Almighty. The Spirit animates everything that I do, say, or think. Ideas come to me daily, and these ideas are divine ideas. They direct me and they sustain me without effort. I am continuously directed. I am compelled to do the right thing at the right time, to say the right word at the right time, to follow right courses of all times. All suggestion of age, poverty, limitation, or unhappiness is uprooted from my mind and cannot gain entrance into my thought. I am happy, well, and filled with perfect life. I live in the spirit of truth, and I am conscious that the spirit of the truth lives in me. My word is the law unto its own manifestation, and will bring to me or cause to me to be brought to its fulfillment. There is no unbelief, no doubt, no uncertainty. I know, and I know that I know. Let every thought of doubt vanish from my mind, that I may know the truth, and the truth may set me free. And so it is. Amen. Thank you guys for listening to me.
Do we get to open the egg, Robin? Robin,
That you? Okay. How many of you kept yours closed the whole time? Oh, look at that. Look at that. You're gonna open it for your little heart to sign.
when do you want to open it?
Well, I opened mine and it says, I am worthy of love, happiness, and fulfillment. So it's, thank you, Reverend, for that. That's beautiful. It's time for our offertory. Can I have a couple people come up and help me with that? Look at those, two of my favorite people. Just to our offertory prayer. Offertory prayer, please. Divine love flowing through me blesses and increases all that I give and all that I receive. Thank you, ladies.
Which way are you going? I'll go this way. Yeah, I'll go this way.
When you're smiling, when you're smiling, the whole world smiles with you. And when you're laughing, when you're laughing, the sun comes shining through. But when you're crying, you bring on the rain, so stop your sighing. Be happy again, keep on smiling, 'cause when you're smiling, the whole world smiles with you. The whole world smiles with you. The whole world smiles with you.
Thank you, ladies, and thank you, Patti, for your music. I think I should have waited to have my egg later, but I'm hungry. Yes, in the I Focus, take a look. Those 10 intentions written by Nancy are still in there this week. And also, Jackie Stringer wrote a beautiful spiritual thought. So I like to read the entire I Focus. There's so much in there. It teaches me each and every week, and it lets me know what's going on around this fabulous place we have here at the PLC. So thank you all for your contributions toward that. I want to I also know that the people on Zoom already know how to give their tithing to us at the PLC. If you have a question about that, you can certainly type a question to Jackie, and she can answer that for you too. And prayers. Our prayer box is in the back, frog box. You can fill out a prayer for yourself or somebody else. Leave that in there. I collect those and I get those out to all the ministers and practitioners. We pray on those each and every week. We do a positive prayer here, and I'm telling you, those prayers keep on working.
Amen.
If you'd like to have prayer after service today, John LaLonde is available, and he'll be back in the prayer practitioner's place back in the back of the church. So he's available for you there. Next week's speaker, Reverend LaLonde Bull, will be speaking. That's correct, right, LaLonde?
That is correct.
Oh, good.
They might not recognize the name though, LJ.
Reverend LaLonde L.J. Bull. Announcements. Any announcements out there? Okay. Well, I have one announcement. March is almost over. I'm ready to march into April. Let's do it. Let's go to the prayer protection, please. The light of God surrounds me. The love of God enfolds me. The power of God protects me. The presence of God watches over me. The energy of God is me. Wherever I am, God is, and all is well. Thank you, Patti. You gonna sing for us?
Sure. I got lots of songs.
Lots of songs.
I told you, I I had so many songs I wanted to sing, and it was really hard to cull through them. Also, I wanted to add something to Reverend Robin's story about the donkey. That particular breed of donkey is called a Nubian, or sometimes referred to as a Jerusalem donkey. They're, fairly small and sturdy. And when I was a kid, I, went to my horseback riding lessons. And at the barn there was a Nubian donkey named Josephine. And what's really cool about them, and where they kind of got, there's a story about it. But if you look at them, they have a cross on their back. They have like a dark hair going down, going down their spine, and then another one over their shoulders. And it looks like the cross of Jesus Christ. And they say, they didn't have that before, but then after the donkey. So I don't know the truth of that, but I remember that because I was going to Catholic school at the time, and they told me all about it. It was a miracle. Okay, let's do a song here. Like a bird on a wire, like a drunk in a midnight choir, I have tried in my way to be free. Like a worm on a hook, like a knife from some old-fashioned book. I have saved all my ribbons. Just let it go by. Oh yeah. If I have been untrue, I hope you know it was never to you. Like a beast stillborn, and a beast with his horn, I have torn. Everyone reached out to me, but I swear by this song, by all I have done wrong, I will make it all up to you. I saw a beggar leaning on his wooden crutch. He said to me, you must not ask for so much. But then a woman, she was leaning in her darkened door. She cried out to me, why not ask for more? Oh yeah, like a bird while, like a drunk in a midnight choir. I have tried in my way to be free.
Yeah. Thank you, Patti. Thank you, thank you. What a fabulous service. What a great morning. I'd like to ask Reverend Judy to come up and pray us out, please.
Rich, rich words to fill our souls. As we go out into our day, we see how full we have become because we chose to gather today, to gather and hold the energy of love in our hearts, to change and shift and move through what other obstacles are there. We move in gratitude and we fill our hearts with endless love. Uh-huh.
Thank you, Reverend. Well, I know that Bert is here today, so I got a feeling there's some cookies back there and something to drink, so I hope you guys all want to congregate back there and enjoy each other's company and enjoy the cookies. And the word of the day is be kind to your donkey, okay? And have a great week. We'll see you next week.
Sometimes I'm right.